So the Oscars just happened this past weekend, or whatever timeline you're watching this video. I decided it's a good idea to watch some of the movies on the list, and I concentrated more on the Best Picture category of 2023. And even from the list, I did not watch 3 of the films on there, simply because I didn't want to. And if you are new or returning to my channel, welcome moviegoers. My name is Samantha, and I'm just here to give you all the pointers on what to expect from the movies. Now let us start with the list of nominees for the Oscars of 2023 in no particular order. All Quiet on the Western Front. Now, if you're expecting a heartfelt movie, you might be in for a treat. All Quiet on the Western Front is all about a war breaking out in Germany in 1914. And yes, this is about World War I, which many of us don't like. Yeah, no idea. This movie is from the perspective of the German side of a young man named Paul and his classmates excited to enlist in the army to protect their land. And just as any young man, we are consumed with a bunch of lies from leaders tricking us into this mindset. So it's basically brainwashing. But they soon figure out that the war is not all they thought it would be. It gives a reality of how bad the wars are. And it gives you this intensity, like just as we were there to feel the exact moments of Paul knowing they fucked up badly. Not much theory I can take on this movie. First, because it's about World War I. It's a real event. And seeing the perspectives of Germany on how men suffered just as equally as the other side, the hardship of having to suffer the loss of friends in front of you is heartbreaking. And All Quiet on the Western Front is so depressing. So if you decide to watch this, be prepared. It's an excellent movie that can make you feel angry, sad, word for the enemy, like really angry though. In this movie particularly won cinematography, international feature film, music, original score, and production design. It won several awards, which can be seen on Netflix. No, this is not sponsored. Just saying, if you want to watch an intriguing film taken on the other side of war, regardless of which side we are on, not everyone is a bad person. I admire everyone who made this film, so thank you. Well, Fablemans is a beautiful mess within itself. Sammy is taken to see the greatest show on earth at a young age by his parents, and he falls in love with movies and starts his journey filming small projects. And after you discover him, then it takes a while to get used to the movie because now it's about the family drama. And it's never really easy to watch, but the movie does help you to pick up clues where this is necessarily heading. And I mean, we've seen these type of scenarios with parents who don't seem to get along or something's happening, or the parent that just doesn't think art is like a real job, more of a hobby. And no, it's not a spoiler. I'm just letting you know it's relatable to a lot of people who are in art. And with Sammy, we see the fact that he's just seeing the drama as a film, and he's legit has a camera with him all at all times. And everyone lets him know he needs to snap out of this dream world and realize what is happening in his family, but he's just so concentrated. And that's the way he decides to cope with the situation and show people a story of how he feels in a way. And it goes back and forth a lot with the members. Just give it time because the movie can be at a halt halfway. Eventually, it all comes back together to Sammy. And you can be mad at Sammy for being selfish, and yeah, you see the fighter, kind of naive kid who has a lot to learn about film than just a Snapchat. This movie was nominated for 6 categories, but sadly did not win any. And regardless of not being a winner, it still deserves a watch. One of my top movies so far. Highly consider watching it again. And all my gratitude to those who made this wonderful movie. The Banshees of Irisherin. Sorry if I did not say it right, but that's the only time I'm saying that movie title. Are you here to be frustrated and delighted at the same time? This movie's just for you. The movie is calming with very little music and yet a lot of darkness within the character's souls. And it's about Patrick being devastated when his buddy Calm suddenly no longer wants a friendship. And the small community around tries to help Patrick repair the relationship by any means. Home continues to cut any sort of communication and leading to disturbing consequences. It's very slow and it doesn't seem to end. Just like my frustration with Patrick. By the way, this actor who played him, it's a different take on him. I definitely don't think I've seen him in other movies where he's sad. Like, would you look at his eyebrows in this movie? They're so fucking sad. And I loved him in this movie. He delivered a desperate, sad, lonely guy who only hopes to rekindle his friendship, even if it means his friend gets hurt. And the character pulls me into the despair of being on a remote island with nothing to do but pet your animals and drink your life away. And this is exactly what the movie is about. It's talking about when a small community is so grown to the routine of doing the same thing, and one person decides to break from that stereotype, which is calm, and rather live his life with purpose, even if it just means he's the only best violinist in the community. And I do love this movie. The thing is, it's very difficult to watch. Once again, it's very depressing. I can see how it was nominated for Best Picture. I love the rawness of the beauty of the island, how the cinematography was in the right places to cast situations to just make it even seem worse and bigger. And the scenes were bland, but the drama in the small community was pretty intense. But it lingers a lot. Overall, I cannot help but feel some kind of peace with the surroundings of the island, even with the disturbing images. A simple movie with complex emotions. It is worth a watch in a sense, but I just let you know, it's very lengthy and it is difficult to watch. But if you love an RT movie, this is probably up your alley. Tar, yeah, this one was very interesting. Making all the sense with no sense in reality. The characters in this movie just throw me in a loop of nothing. Felt flat in my opinion. We have Tar, who's a conductor for an orchestra well known around the world, and just to find herself in some social media cancel culture situation. Tar has, a small family. She has a wife and a daughter, and we get a glimpse within the film of what is about to happen to her. She makes a remark about cancel culture, saying, is it to cancel the artist or the person who did disturbing things? Should we not be able to remove ourselves from the artist and the individual? She makes a good point, because certain movies or songs I would want to watch, listen, but some of them have been condemned. And how can I watch or listen without thinking about what they did to others? It's difficult, and it brings out a good point. But in the film, we don't really get told any real answers. The beginning of the film is hard to grasp. I'm going to say, I'm a smart cookie. But the knowledge of the composer and knowing remotely anything about B-flat and sharp and all that shenanigans, yes, I played instruments, just not to the extent this movie brings. And I honestly had my brain working 200% to even understand what Tar was speaking. She is very highly intellectual, educated person, but she has some type of power trip. And also, I did feel some sense of nervousness when she spoke to the class, or even through the movie, reminded me of my 6th grade band teacher. And I said to myself, Sammy, this is going to be amazing because there's an emotional attachment for me. And yeah, like passing the 30-minute mark, I was just disappointed. I am fan of these kind of movies, just not this one particularly. I see where they're taking Tar and how the cancel culture or any kind of power to make yourself seem as a different person. It just felt very messy. I can see why it was meant to be messy. It's just, no. I love how it's a beautiful picture to watch. It's just bland and chaotic. And would I recommend Tar? Honestly, no. If you want to watch it, go ahead. And honestly, I just felt hopeless and lost every time Tar spoke. And I know there's not much hope there for you. Just felt as this one's specific for a type of audience than rather the general audience. Nothing against doing a film for a specific group. Just something was lost in translation with me, at least because I did not comprehend the orchestra composer mind. I not Bach or Mozart or any of that. But if you're into that kind of type of music, then I would say it is difficult. But if you're very detail oriented into that kind of stuff, then I say give it a try. Top Gun Maverick is a movie to push the boundaries of emotions and having one of the top aviators for the Navy. We have Pete Maverick Mitchell must train a group of graduates for a special assignment while having to deal with his past sorrow, demanding a sacrifice from those who choose to fly the mission. Okay, so I see few imperfections in this film. And it gives a lot of nostalgia for the first movie. And if you're not aware, this movie is based on the 1986 film. And I love how it does not lose it to like moderation picture-wise, but the plot of Top Gun is a little different. And Maverick offers a sentimental plot with badass pilots who can get a job done regardless of how hard it is to achieve. We have an action movie that adds a love angle, because what action movie is not without loving someone else. And along with the plot, we have music pulling at our strings to strive for an emotion that was not there before. It is a simple movie with no gimmicks of moderation. It's very intense, and Top Gun starts us off from the previous movie, yet does not force us to watch the first one to understand the second one. And the editing does a great job of giving clues to the puzzle we need to complete, and we get strained between the two pilots, Maverick and his trained student, or even when we see them getting trained, like you can see the intensity in their face. It does not completely focus on just two characters, but the training itself on how to survive and push the boundaries of just surviving. Stop thinking, just act upon it. They pull emotions aside sometimes, but also like it takes me out of my world into theirs. And when I say filmmakers have done their job, goddamn, when they get to the root of characters and not just try to push us like against a cocky character, it does a good job. This movie was amazing. I don't know what else to say about it. I have not seen a movie in an action category win a very long time. Top Gun did win on sound. It is a Best Picture nominee. It deserves it because as much as drama films showcase the reality of the world we live in and give the context of a message to send out to the world, at times we just need a hopeful, cheesy movie that can work out in the end and not be so depressing. And as well, a movie that is not all show and tell perfection, but with imperfection, what makes a good emotional tale. Elvis, which I already did a movie review on a few months ago, so go ahead and watch the review to get my full opinion. If not, here's my short response. Elvis is a lengthy movie remake of Elvis's life story along with his manager Tom Parker, and it stars Austin Butler playing Elvis's life in a really good way, not making it seem like he's impersonating him in a Vegas show. And Tom Parker, played by Tom Hanks, plays an evil character that creates only more problems for Elvis in the film. Shows a very small glimpse of the greatness, 30-second montages of Elvis's life, great taste in production design, music, and acting skills the entirety of the film. My applaud is to Austin, who, in my opinion, should have won actor in a leading role. He worked himself to transition to Elvis, made it seem like I was watching Elvis for the first time, brought out the sorrow, joy, and anger, frustration, everything. Like he must have felt at the time of being betrayed by his manager. It's just, I can see how much effort it was and dedication to become someone else who was not simply made up from thin air, but Elvis. So yeah, Elvis is a really good movie to watch. I love it and I still will watch it. I just have not seen it because Tom Parker, who was played by Tom Hanks, pisses me the fuck off. So yeah, that's the only reason I have not seen it. But otherwise, I would love to watch it again. Now, before I mention Best Picture, the few movies I did not watch, as I previously mentioned, something about watching women talking, the trailer just did not appeal. I did not want to be more depressed already as I was watching the other films. And the other one was Triangle of Sadness. Just watching the trailer was disgusting. I said no thank you. I don't understand the trailer, so I don't think we would even understand the damn movie. And third, Avatar's Way of Water. I know it won an award for Best Visual Effects, and I barely saw the first one recently, and might take me a while to watch this one. It's pretty. I get it. Just the plot is hard to bite into. Not my cup of tea. Regardless, I'll watch A Way of Water, whatever it's called, and give my opinion on it. Okay, now for the Best Picture of 2023, Everything and Everywhere All at Once. I knew it. This movie is amazing and left me speechless once I watched it and rewatched it and rewatched it. It won several awards besides the Best Picture of 2023, and I already did a movie review on this film, so go ahead and watch it. In short, Everything and Everywhere All About is a family drama of wondering about the unknown of your potential decision can take you. Imagine multiple universes of Doctor Strange, but in this case, you are on some type of trip. It strips away reality and becomes a construct of all your decisions taken in different directions. In a way, you know how you think of a scenario that went badly and start to reminisce about the other routes you could have taken instead of bad decisions to create that bad experience. Well, Everything and Everyone All at Once is your idea into film. It spins out of control, thinking of the horrors it could have gone worse, or if you had sausage as hands. It takes negativity or guilt trip thinking into a whole bizarre way of processing your thoughts. How bizarre is it to think you could have had like a different life if you only chased after your dreams? Or what if it was worse than where you are in life? That's the big question in all of this. What if, or if only? That's all the Oscars isn't about. The Oscars are about depressing movies and they're really sad in reality, but the only one that isn't is Top Gun and maybe some of the animated movies that I did not necessarily watch, but I see why they won. The thing is with the Oscars, they legit just pick reality, hard, heavy thinking, and it's spectacular how it's made, but the thing is not everyone's going to watch this, and the ones that are necessarily going to watch these kind of movies are critics. And that kind of stinks that there should be more blockbuster movies that the general audience would love to see. So overall, that's my opinion on the Oscars. All these movies were great. I see why some might have been great, some missed the mark, and this and that, but I know there's other great movies that generally the audience will love. This is why a lot of people might not like the Oscars, because they always go for the art type of film versus the film that is made for generally everyone and not just specific guidelines. And okay, now that I talk forever, you can choose either to watch any of the films previously I mentioned or not. The choice is in your hands, and I'm only one to give you perspective on films. So now, that's all I have for today. I have any of these videos YouTube would like to recommend to you. If you want to see more reviews, go ahead and click the subscribe button. If you feel extra, go ahead and like this video. It helps me out a lot. And oh yeah, comment down below if you saw the movies, want to see them, or just saying no thanks completely. For now, to the following review. Have a nice day. Bye.